expensive, but all the lost balls are
Okay,
expensive.
Diane,
I think that-
I'm going to be asking Barry, come over this way a little bit.
They're hard.
I'm going to be asking Barry how he met you and you want the story straight, so spit it out.
That's the conscience you
My
make.
bag right now, it's right full of balls, 'cause I used one for last time, I don't know how many rounds.
Spit it out, come on.
It's like what you just said.
Well, just what I said.
It's heavy.
Okay,
If you need any, yeah.
Listen,
my girlfriends and I, we always went to get our gas where Barry worked. So, after I don't know how many months, my three girlfriends, well, three of us were going down the road and he comes along and picks us up. So now he calls me a pickup.
oh, you were a pickup.
I was a pickup, but he knew me.
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, he was as drunk as a skunk.
You couldn't even not drunk, I was still driving.
Well, not then. I can't remember where we were going.
We went out to Stony Plain.
Okay, Stony Plain, and anyhow, we had to get out because he was barfing. and my girlfriend was sitting beside him. And silly me, I get in and sit beside him. Now, if that isn't fate, I don't know.
Oh,
what is.
jeez.
And he asked me for my phone number. I gave it to him, and I thought, yeah, he'll never remember it. Sure as hell. Next day, he phoned me. That's the end of the story, 52 years later.
Gee, you would think a smart person would have ran the other way.
I know! there must have been something wrong here. I don't know.
Oh,
Opposites attract.
I guess so.
Yeah, and I don't drink very much. But he always said he always drank for me. So
Oh, there you
he
go.
drank my
You
share.
couldn't afford it, two people.
You're just being nice.
And then the cops come along and figured I was underage. So he takes me home. The cop takes me home, and he's gonna go in the house. I says, no, please don't come into the house because my mom is very sick.
Right.
And she doesn't need this. He says, okay, I'll let you go this time. So he didn't. I went in.
Stay away from that bad guy.
Yeah. Isn't that? Oh yeah, then I had to walk from his apartment. How many times? How many times we were at your
I was
apartment?
tired.
You were tired.
Yeah, well,
And I had to walk down the Edmonton streets
Oh, jeez.
at about 12 o'clock.
Oh, one, yeah, you always.
How old was I? 16?
Yeah, something like that.
16, 17.
What the hell kind of guy are you? What?
I know.
I can't believe she's still with you 52 years later. A smart woman would have ran.
It wasn't me, it was all her fault.
That's right.
That's what it sounds like.
And then I won't tell another story.
All right.
Oh, but they're good.
Probably tell.
I like your versions.
Yeah, they don't sound very good.
No, I stayed with him because he's kind.
He is kind.
He is kind.
And the best brother-in-laws you could ever have had. That's what you were lucky
Oh
with.
yeah, Darwin.
Yeah,
yes.
see, that's right.
Yes, my bestest.
Definitely still kind of drunk, kind of sober, kind of funny.
No, he was all.
Kind of changes every game you play.
We kind of changed each other. We kind of melded.
That's right.
I even got drunk a few times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not very. I
With-
don't think
with
it was
your
a few,
mom.
I think it was only two. Oh yeah.
All
yeah,
right,
mom,
yeah.
With
Granny.
your mom. And they had to stop the car and we were all puking.
oh,
And Barry and your dad, they were giggling.
Well, we had to stay sober. And Mom told us that night. That was at Billy Hall's wedding. I
That
think.
was it.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And Mom said, okay. His dad and I, we were always the ones that were half pissed or whatever. We never went anywhere. So she said, you guys are not drinking tonight. One or two, that's it. Because me and Diane were getting drunk.
oh, she was serious, Mom.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they did.
They were
Of course, then they
successful.
ate supper. Well, then bellies weren't feeling too good, so we actually had home.
And that was about a mile before
It was at Old Edith's corner.
Yeah.
We had to stop. Stop! There was
So I don't drink very much.
You're a drinker like me then.
Yeah, I can't.
Anyway, they both ended up down in the goddamn ditch. And Dad and I down there all trying to pull these two drunk ladies out they can't walk.
Well, it was icy then, too.
I know, it was winter time. And they were down there, of course, you get in the snow and they fall down all.
Yeah. Well, what about that time I was cleaning out the berry bushes? And it was hot, hot, hot. And I was cleaning out, you know, the stakes and all
Yeah.
the grass. And hot. And here he is, riding around on the lawnmower. Oh, such hard work.
Yeah.
You know, and drinking a beer. And so he says, oh, would you like a glass of wine? Sure. So he pours me a glass of wine and I drank that. I went back in the berry patch for 5 minutes. I had to go inside. It's like
Oh,
this.
boy.
Rick come home and says, where's Mom? Barry says, she ain't feeling very good. We have to make our own supper. So,
I remember the berry thing, but I don't remember the supper part.
yeah.
Well, I thought it was just being nice.
Well,
He'd
you
probably
were.
give me
Well, you were. I mean, it tasted good. You
He'd
know.
probably give you a glass of saggy eye from Bosky.
I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, no.
We didn't keep much for wine around the place, because nobody
No.
ever drank it.
Yeah.
I found some.
It was probably potent as hell.
Yeah, must have
Well,
been.
but I think just not eating and the heat too.
Well, it could
Yeah.
have been because people give it like this, like she does more, she still gives away wine.
Yeah, I thought maybe.
People used to make their own wine and they said, well, here, take a bottle home. We never knew where the hell it come from. You get half a dozen of them together. you know.
Bosky
But that
used to
doesn't
make
sound
it.
very
yeah.
good. Just telling about just when I got drunk.
That's
Because
right,
that's
yeah.
only a few
Yeah.
times out of 50
Yeah.
some years.
That's right.
That's about all I've seen,
That
yes.
doesn't sound very good.
Not very many.
What about all them nice Christmas gifts you used to get?
Oh, yeah.
And lots of
Thank
use
you,
out of
darling.
those. The most useful Christmas present ever.
That's right.
Yeah.
Soap on a rope, dildo on a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else fancy negligee.
Yeah.
Netted
That I'm still
stockings.
waiting to see.
You still haven't got to see that nice gift I bought her?
I don't think I have that.
Diane.
I know.
No, I think she threw it out because I was going through a box of shit out there in the garden one day and all that stuff was in it.
So on the road.
Okay, you gotta say your full name.
Barry Milburn Dallyn.
How did you get Milburn?
I was from my grandfather, great grandfather actually,
Okay.
on the Seymour side.
How old you?
72.
72. Okay. You went to school in Meadow Lake?
Meadow Lake and Bear Creek in the country, first of all, for 8 years.
Then-
Then to town school, high school, yeah.
Then what did you do when you went out of left school?
Got drunk a couple times.
No.
Yeah, well, I sold my books so I could buy beer. Because you had to buy your books back in those days, so I turned it back in and got my $34, which was a pile of money. And bought a lot of beer that day. So we got. That's what I did when I first day I quit school. I got mad and walked out in grade. I was in grade 11, and I said, "That's enough.
That's it? Done?
Enough school for me. Time to go to work."
And then where did you head?
Well, I actually stayed here for a while, and I worked at Burke's Motel, which was a gas station, pumping gas. Done that for a couple of years, and then I went to Edmonton for how many years? About 7.
Turn that radio down.
That's a TV program.
Okay.
And I worked in a service station there for, holy smokes, quite a while, 5 years. And then we had some drivers that come in and filled up with gas there all the time and had their work done on their truck and stuff. And I think I was making $1.75 an hour, and they offered me $2.25. So I moved. And that was how I learned my trade.
That's how you got into your trade.
Yeah, and I worked at that for 42 years.
42 years of heavy lifting, and
Yeah,
then you become a professional mudder and taper.
I did. Lots of, actually, I'd become a professional taper before I'd done any boarding.
Oh,
Yeah, I never boarded for, because in the cities when I was working in there, and I think I was there for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, that I was learning this stuff, and Because there was borders in front of you, they bordered everything.
Yep.
And we just taped, and then I never bordered actually till we got back here.
Oh,
And then I started boarding, you know, houses.
then you taught your little brother your profession.
Yeah, and then Jim come to work, he worked with me for a long time, and I had one other guy that worked with me for 28 years.
Who was that?
It was Grant.
Oh, Grant
Lawyer.
worked that long with you.
Yeah, he was there that long time.
28 years.
And I finally just had to let him go because he was just so bad with alcohol. It
Yeah,
was unfortunate because he was a hell of a good guy, good friend.
yeah.
But that's the way it worked, and he died. What the hell? That's gonna be a couple of years ago now. 3 years ago, maybe even.
Oh, I didn't know that even.
Yeah, oh no, he died. He was young.
Okay, how did you meet your wife?
Oh shit. Well, working in the service station, and her and his carload of girlfriends used to come around there all the time, and I was a guy. I was a jockey, and I had another buddy in the garage working with me too, Bill, and he says he'd say to me, "Here's your car. Your women are coming."
Oh,
So it was funny. So I'd say, "Well, you go wait on him." No, I'm too old for that shit. He'd say. So I had to go out and get their gas. They got about $2 worth of gas or $1, probably $1 more than likely.
yeah.
Because gas in those days, well, you got a little bit for 50 cents or $1, eh? Now you pay that for whatever. And they went, I don't know where the hell they went that day. And then there's one day, I don't know how the hell that happened, but they were just walking and they walked past.
Just so happened they walked past.
Yeah, and it was right when I was getting off work. It was right within 5 minutes. So I seen him, and Gary and my other buddy were sitting in the car waiting for me. And as soon as I got out, away we went. Picked them up halfway down the block, and these 3 girls got in just all over randomly in the car because we didn't know them. They didn't know us, except for at the service station. Of course, I lived with Gary and I.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked them up, and I was in a night. Me and my wife have a little story on this, and we just went out that night, and she kind of took over when we were parked out in the field, and I was sick, of course, from too much vodka or whatever the hell we were drinking. I know we stopped in a bar. We were all damn young, underage, and we got into this bar in Stony Plain. I remember eating pickled eggs and drinking beer like it, and we ate like 100 pickled eggs a day. So anyway, we're parked out in a field, just drinking beer and nothing else. And holy Christ, I got sick. And somehow Diane, she got out looking after me, and she crawled in the car beside me and kicked her girlfriend in the back seat with Gary. And that's 52 years later.
Holy cow.
She's still here, so yeah.
So what year were you married?
1980. The hell was it? 1989. 69.
69.
Holy Christ. 20 years longer than I thought.
That is a long number, eh?
I better not tell the wife I forgot 20 years there.
Yeah. Because I was married in 87, so
Yeah, he
89.
was born in 69, so.
Yeah.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy,
Well, that math doesn't add up.
I know.
Well, it does nowadays.
It does nowadays.
It does, yeah. It did then too, but.
Yeah.
Just really premature.
Yeah, he was at the wedding dance that night.
Oh, he's at the wedding dance.
Yeah.
It wasn't made after the dance.
No, he was there. She was every dance that she danced, and she danced lots.
And who we talking about? There we go.
There he is, right there. Yeah.
I
That's
did
it.
all my growing in the womb.
Yeah.
That's why it's so short. 2 months of growing.
Too much getting shaken around that night, wedding night.
That's number 1 son there, and we've got another son, Chad, which is youngest, and in between we have a girl named Lori.
Babe.
Hey,
Mm,
that's what she's known for mainly.
that's right. So when you moved back to Meadow Lake, where'd you move?
We moved back and moved in with Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad?
Yeah.
For how long?
Holy shit. 3 years, I think we were there.
Then you bought the trailer?
And we bought the trailer, yeah. And we lived in that for 12 years or 20 years. What the hell was it? 12 years. 12 years, I think. We had the trailer. Sold it to Terry, my
Yeah.
brother. And we built a house. That was when we built over on our little acreage that Dad sold me for $1, which I never did pay for, by the way. But you had to say that's what it was, so.
Yeah.
So I got 10 acres for free, put it that way.
Oh, there you go.
Built a house and lived there for 20 years.
Raised the whole family there.
Raised the family there pretty much, yeah. And then they all moved away and the place got too big for us. Too much work for Diane, especially because she had a big friggin' honkin' garden and a big house to clean and 2 people rattling around in it, so. The kids all liked it, they loved the farm. They could come out there and they could canoe or skidoo and quad and do whatever the hell they wanted, but
And you've had the same wife for what? 50 what?
52 years.
Holy smokes.
We just had an anniversary actually on the April 19th.
April 19th.
Yeah. We did.
Okay, now I need a good story on each kid. Start with your oldest one.
Well, I think I gotta do the oldest 2 together.
Okay.
Because I wish I knew where the hell Diane put that note, but we still have it how many years later. That we told the kids they're not supposed to go anywhere. We had to make a quick trip into town. And you guys don't go anywhere, you stay home. So we come back home, not that long later, and there's a note on the table. We forgot you guys weren't here, so we went over to Groot's. So they went over to the neighbors, but they're saying that they didn't know that we were there, that we had left. So they figured, well, if we left, if we're not around, well, that's okay if they go. But they wrote that note, and their mom still has it. She drug it out just the other day. So,
Oh.
Yeah, she had.
so that's about the one that I remember on those 2. And Chad, well, Chad, he's kind of a different sort of guy. Big bugger. Loves sports. He died for sports. He's a great volleyball player. And is that it there?
That's the note.
Here, this is a note. I don't know if you want to zoom in on it or what.
Yeah, I see that thing.
About what year is that note from?
Well, they would have probably, I don't really know, but they weren't that old.
79, maybe less.
I was going to say, yeah, you might have been 12, maybe, I doubt it, but
I know it. I think we're.
that is, it's just a keepsake, so.
Well, the story I remember the most about Babe and Rick was I was home sick one day, and I was actually really sick. Jimmy would fake sick and get to stay home. But anyway, these 2 little buggers started a fire in the bale stack. So me and Dad were moving and shipping bales like crazy because they started this
Who
goddamn...
started a fire,
Rick and Babe started a fire in the
I don't remember
bales.
that.
Yeah, I barely remember.
So we had to move bales just to save that barn, and I was sicker than a bastard. Got all that smoke, little bugger.
I felt bad about that.
Yeah, like I say, Chad, he was kind of, he was young, he was a little bit on the wild side. He liked his partying and he liked scrapping.
Yeah, he can still drink beer.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure he could still scrap too if he had a little better back. But he's mellowed out now. He was totally the other way. He's got his cats for his kids and his wife, and that's it. And Chad, yeah, he's just down to earth sort of thing.
Golf.
Yeah.
Loves his golf.
Loves his sports.
Oh shit, he loves his sports. Yeah. He watches golf, or plays golf, and
Gamble.
loves to gamble. His golf cart's always full of $20 bills from.
He's like his Uncle Darwin that way.
Yes, he sure as hell is.
Yeah. And he's like this guy drinking beer. I think this guy takes after Chad drinking
And he likes
beer.
those ticks and all that shit too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I hate golfing with him because I hate doing ticks because I couldn't get a tick to save my ass.
I remember a story with Mom said if Barry and Diane ever got divorced, it would be Barry moving off the farm, not Diane. Was she kind of Mom's favorite?
Oh yeah, those 2. Well, she taught Diane lots. And Diane still uses that today. So, yeah, I would say that was her favorite.
She was pretty, yeah, she thought pretty a lot to Mom.
Oh shit, yeah.
What
Well, the
about
good thing is, like, we never moved away when we moved out of their house. We just moved about 100 yards like that.
50 yards?
So they weren't far away.
Yeah.
And the kids still come home and they went to their place because we were both working, so they just naturally went over there for a snack off of Granny.
Yeah, Granny and Grandpa always had kids.
Oh shit, always.
Well, you got a good story about Mom and Dad that even I might not know?
Mom and Dad. Only holy shit, I don't know, what do you say about it?
What about Mom chasing you with a bat, plastic bat?
Oh yeah.
Why
She wore
was that?
She wore that bat out.
Why was that?
Well, she couldn't catch me for one thing, when I got a little older. She used brooms before that, but she got that big blat, about this long. This end of it was about this big around. And of course she had, she had keep it right beside her, because I always did bug the shit out of Mom. Just for fun, I guess. Being an asshole. And
Sort of Nate did.
so I'd run either on top of the bed so that she could swing it, or I'd go underneath the bed, that was when her broom was there. But this big bat, she'd come to me and she'd swing at me like this, and of course the top of the bat would go backwards like this, and then it'd kind of fall on me, so it never did hit me hard. That's from her swinging the thing, it hit me so goddamn many times. It was just limp. It just kind of, she'd swing and the thing would go. And then she'd say, when I crawled under the bed and she couldn't get me, she said, "You little son of a bitch, you wait till I get out of there, I'll kill you, you little bastard." And by the time I laid underneath her for 5-10 minutes and got out, and she was good. So it was safe to move around then.
Sounds like you had her figured out.
Oh, I did. I knew how to pull her strings out. That's for sure.
What about a good story about the old dad?
Well, Dad, he liked his shop, and he always kept a bottle or two of whiskey out there. So that was his happy place.
Yeah, it sure was.
Dad and kids, and him and his old buddy there, Hector Braylon. I don't know how many times they walked out of that garage a little unsteady. And Hector, he'd go home on his three-wheeler, and every time I'd find him when I was coming home from work, he's on laying tipped over in the middle of the fucking road. 2 or 3 times I found him like that, and he's sleeping, just having a hell of a good sleep, and he's all crooked up in this goddamn thing, his leg way up in the air, and the other one underneath it. And his thing upset, and his load of wood sitting back here was on a trailer. It didn't upset because it was on a swivel, but he come over and he's hauling a load of wood from Dad's place.
Yeah.
All the time.
That was the excuse. Eh?
Yeah, and that's how they got into their whiskey. And that was Dad's stuff. He liked to have fun and tease the shit out of Mom. He liked his whiskey. He loved his beer.
Oh, and those grandkids all around. He
He loved being around
loved
the
showing them
grandkids.
everything.
Yeah. Never had to leave the farm either. They just stayed home and learned stuff. Hell, we used to play lots of ball and just had fun. Something that you kids that are out there will never do.
No, those kids don't know that
And
fun.
it's so unfortunate. You know, it's almost past that now that we can still, there's still a generation here left that can talk about it, eh? That,
Yeah.
you know, that it happened.
How many weekends we would have a ball game at the farm?
Oh, hell, lots. And we had people from town come out, and Christ, we'd have people just drive in from the road. See us having a big time out there, they'd come in and grab a ball glove and away the hell they'd go.
Well, I remember you as a youngster with parties. You always had them at the house.
Yeah, pretty much.
And a guy named Lynn Brown. What about Lynn Brown?
Well, he was one of my buddies. Crazy little bastard, and he upset his truck one night, drunk, of course, and killed himself.
Yeah,
He wasn't very old. He lived on the farm, half a mile from us.
yeah.
Put a trailer. In fact, that damn trailer's still there. I think.
That acreage is still
Yeah. And that's about it for Lynn. I mean, we were together for a few years.
I remember that because I made lots of money off you guys playing the table hockey. All his friends wanted to beat me, but they couldn't. I'm sitting there one day with their cigarettes and sitting on cases of beer when Mom come home, remember? I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I won all this." So they'd buy their case of beer from back for $2.50.
Keep on playing cards,
Yeah.
or hockey, one of the two. That was our after work thing, was to get together at my place, and morning, noon, or night, it didn't matter what the hell it was, and we just played cards, played hockey. Just
Yeah.
he was always around there because everybody was half pissed by that time. So except him, and then he's smart at last. So he played it smart because he won all the time. He stayed sober. Well, he was too young to drink anyway, but
Yeah.
Who's that?
him,
Me.
Darwin. Oh yeah.
yeah.
No, it was fun with Barry's friends. I loved them guys. They had a lot of fun.
And they were, and they were all around my age mostly.
Oh, Christ, you'd have 20, 30 people at the house at partying, and
Oh shit, yeah.
Mom and Dad was there. They wanted Mom and Dad there.
Was Herbie around at that time or no?
Yeah, he was around. He'd come out once in a while whenever he got a vehicle. He always smashed up his damn cars all the time, so.
And who's this Herbie?
Okay, Herbie Craig. He was everybody's friend. Him, he's an old hippie. And we call him anyway, old hippie, don't know what to do. And he smoked drugs all his life, and he's about, goddamn near 80 years old now.
And he's a
Still does,
genius.
still smokes.
He's a genius, isn't he?
He's a genius, yeah. He's one smart man.
Yeah, just
He hasn't changed a damn bit in, I don't know how long. He was a painter by trade, and he never used a mask his whole life. And he put on a lot of paint. In between smoking and sucking on his joint when he's painting.
yeah.
And, oh yeah, he'd come out of the house just so goddamn covered in white or whatever the hell he was painting. Now one time I remember we'd got done painting a house in Loon Lake and we were in a rush. And he didn't clean up his paint sprayer, so he just threw it in the back of the truck. And left it there. Well, we're driving down the road and we're just about in Makwa and we were just gonna turn in and get a beer probably or whatever, and we looked around here, Herbie's van is just going all over the goddamn road like this, and we said, what the hell's wrong with him? Is he having a heart attack or what? So anyway, he got up behind us and he stopped until he couldn't see because a hose had broke on his paint sprayer, and he threw it in, it was under pressure yet.
Oh shit.
His hose ruptured, and of course it was flopping around inside the truck like this and spraying paint. And he's stuck in there. He can't get out. He's got his seat belt, and he can't see nothing. That's why he was going down the friggin' road. And anyway, oh Jesus Christ, what a mess! So we cleaned him up as good as we could, just so he could see, get it off his eyes. And when we went in the bar to ask for some help, get some water and stuff, they looked and said, "What the hell's going on here?" So we had to tell him the story, and of course Kirby's still standing there dripping paint all over the goddamn place. Oh, that was something super funny, yeah. Then he gets all cleaned up, reaches in his pocket, lights up a button. Away we go.
There you go. Lots of fun.
Yeah, so he took his old van to the car wash and washed it out at the car wash as good as he could, but yeah, that was funny. That's what we still talk about when we do get together. Yeah.
I know you put on a few miles with your hockey players. How did that go?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we coached for about 17 years or so, Chad and Rick.
Probably the funnest memories you got. Eh?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. We lived for the winter, Mom and I.
That was the next guy that come around, was Hector Laventine.
Yeah. And Hector, he was my hockey buddy. Oh, we had a few. Rennie Lejeunesse and George Turon and Alan Berg and Hector. Corny Smith. Yeah, we had a good bunch. We all traveled together, all crazy parents, and had fun. We'd party at night when the kids were supposed to be in bed, which they weren't very often. No, we'd done a lot of traveling. We wore out a van. Chris used to have travel with 13 players and all their goddamn equipment in that thing. I don't know how we ever got them in there, but we did.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Kids from wall to wall, basically.
And they all still talk to you.
Hell yeah, I just sent a picture out of all this hockey team that we played with. Just this last week, and I got all kinds of comments back on it.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, it come up as a 2-year memory, and here's what I did. And, holy man, I got it. Oh, I remember that. And then Travis, he put down just about every name there except for a couple.
Yeah.
So no, it's good just to, and you still know all these kids, you know. That's what's nice about it. And they're all over the damn country.
They remember it too. Yeah.
Oh, they sure did. It was a good time. Oh, it was fun times.
And your oldest one was a pretty good goaltender, I hear.
Yeah, he was. Well, I guess he's still tending goals, so I don't know how many friggin' years he's been doing it. Since he was about, what, 12? Well, on the farm, Chris, Darwin and Jim would shoot on him when he was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
That was Mike Paul Mateer back.
Yeah, he had an old set of pads that he found and goalie equipment that come from somewhere. Have no idea where, but well, they shot for hours at night after school.
After school, we did put them through the paces.
They sure the hell did.
Me and Terry and Jim.
Yeah, and him and his buddy Scott Taylor, you couldn't tell the difference between those two when you switched goaltenders. Nobody knew. They were the same size, they had basically the same style, and you know, they just didn't know when you changed goaltenders. Other coaches, they had no idea. I'd call Rick to the bench and he'd come up there and then I'd send out Scott and Rick would jump in
How was Dad as a coach?
Oh, he give me shit all the time. Thank God I was on the ice.
Yeah.
Some of that shit.
Well, that's what it is. Look, dads are the hardest on their kids out of anyone.
And kids don't listen to their dads.
Yeah.
I know that now.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
know that now, eh?
Yeah.
You're getting it back.
You don't know shit, Dad.
You're getting it back.
And yet he did, yeah.
Yeah, see?
And I'm not so sure I did. I never hardly played hockey in my life. I didn't even know what the hell a blue line or red line was till after I was 15 years old. But that was when I got to be a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. I'm still one to this
Well,
day.
the only hockey we got was on Cattail Gardens. There was no rink for us to start.
No,
Did a
pretty
lot
much.
of that, eh? Yeah.
There you go. Well, Christ, all of our generation went over there, and even you guys skated at
Oh, yeah.
Baldinas's, eh? On the old
All
Baldinas.
over.
place. Yeah. Any damn dugout, anything they could find, they cleaned it off and they used it for hockey.
Norton Stroman and
Yeah.
Seymour and no
Groot's behind there.
Groot's.
We always had a little one just in front of Mom and Dad's place.
The only
It wasn't
rink
very
we
big.
ever got to was the Rapid View rink. We played on that quite
that was
often.
only a treat though, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, last year, I think
For
it was
me,
last
when
year
I
or the
was
year before, they brought that thing back to life.
Yeah, that's all.
It's all ready to use again, I think, so hopefully that does come back and people do use that rink. It'd be
They
nice.
do it every year now, yeah.
But shit, I remember playing hockey out there. We were in this league from the Sawmill, actually. Burton Motors, I think it was called. Our team anyway.
Oh,
And we had a league. We had 2 or 3 teams from the Sawmill and then 2 or 3, 4 from, I think there was 8 teams altogether. And the other ones from town just picked it up. It was just road hockey basically. But we'd go out there and Christ, we thought we were in the Olympia.
I remember watching you, but I didn't know what it was
Yeah.
out there, yeah.
Yeah, well, you would have been pretty damn young then.
Damn young, yeah.
You even coached an NHL player back in the day. Jeff Friesen
Oh yeah. Yeah,
with
Jeff.
Chad's group.
Yeah, he went a long ways, Jeff.
Remember he had a little bugger, 5 years
Yeah.
old. I was out
Yeah.
there helping you one day practice, and that little bugger could skate around all of us.
Oh, he was a great skater and a good goal scorer. That's just what he was. Well, that's what made his way in the NHL too.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, he was a good hockey player. There's been quite a few people come out from Middle Lake that made it to the NHL. It's been a good hockey town
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
and surrounding area too. Of course, it's not just here, but that's been good.
And you become a grandpa. What? Tell us a little story about each one of them if you can.
Well, I think God said I didn't want to be a grandpa till I was 50. And I think that's exactly what I was when you had Kelsey, eh? Because Kelsey is 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's right, eh? Yeah.
Yeah,
So it worked out.
Never ever,
it did.
never calculated that.
I said, no, I said, anything. No, so, buddy, just hold on. Bart.
Okay.
Take a little break. Okay, well.
Okay, now we know. We've heard good stories about your kids. Now, what's some bad ones that their kids might want to hear that
no
they
bad
were not
Well,
angels?
you see, this is what happens when you have kids.
Oh, their hair falls
Your
out.
hair falls out.
Well-
Now we're going to the bad part of it. Well, we gotta go to this thing, so that's what happens. I got a brother the same way. His kids were bad too. So
Yeah.
Holy
I'm living proof.
He's
I
even
support
got
what
less
he
hair than I
says
got.
there.
Jeez, my kids must
got
be
no-
my
I got
my
no
kids
kids.
must be angels.
I got no
Look at his
kids.
here.
No kids, all kids.
My kids must be angels. I still got my hair.
Yeah, no shit, and so do your kids.
Ah. So what's with these little buggers? They had to do something to piss you off.
Yeah, Rick did. He used to piss me off when we were traveling in hockey all the time. We'd be in a van, driving down the road, Dan and I in the front seat, and he'd come up and over my shoulder, because we did let them listen to their music, not because we wanted to, but, and he'd come up and he'd reach over my shoulder all the time and just crank that son of a bitch as high as it'd go, and that old van had pretty good stereo in it. He used to piss me off doing that, so. We were traveling down the road this one day. I don't even know where we're going, doesn't matter. He reached over and he grabbed that fucking, when he was over there, well, I happened to reach back and I just fucking smoked him like this. Remember that, Rick?
No, I don't.
Oh, I hit him fucking hard. I thought, you little fat. I might have went this way too, I forget now. I thought I went like this. And he went flying back, and you know something? That was the last time he ever reached over my shoulder. I turned that goddamn radio on, because I used to piss him off. And he'd do it At any time, it didn't matter when, 15 times, and it didn't matter. But
They
that's
kept,
probably,
they kept turning it down.
Well, lesson must have been learned at
Taught me
least.
how to entertain, so I was entertaining my friends.
Lesson must have been learned.
and
So
there enough of little bastards back there, but they sure laughed at me from flying back there. I think he was a little embarrassed about it, but said, don't fucking touch that radio again. And Diane, she was sitting there, holy shit, never ever seen me do anything like that before.
Child abuse.
Probably the first time I ever touched one of the kids and probably the last one, but
yeah. Oh, you gotta have some. Babes had to do something to piss you off.
oh yeah, she
She's
wrecked the
not
car.
perfectly angel. She what?
She wrecked the car.
She's really good at that.
Oh, she was like you.
Yeah, she's good at it, yeah. I guess she learned, yeah.
I don't know how we can
Yeah.
get
She
mad at
was.
her.
Well, I guess I was more scared about it than anything, but yeah, she had her mom's little Chevette. And she went up to the lake. I think she was actually coming home. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
and this goddamn, she hit the washboard, and of course she wrapped this thing around the tree, literally.
Oh,
That thing was literally wrapped around the tree. When I went out there, the horn was still beeping. The battery was hooked up, and I went out there pretty fast. She was already gone. They hauled her into town. Shit, she wasn't hardly even hurt, but they took her anyway for precautions. All I could do was get a tow. I think I got a tow truck, and they hauled the damn thing. Yeah, they did haul it into town. That was probably the worst thing because we lost a vehicle, and we didn't really have a whole lot of money to buy stuff. So that was probably what pissed me off more than anything.
no. How about Chadwick? There be something with that fighting little bugger.
You know something? The only thing that I can think that pissed us off about him was his goddamn games. That was when electric games first started.
Oh yeah,
And we bought a ColecoVision, it was called. And we put it away at a grocery store down here. They were selling them. We left it sitting there for damn near a year. So we could afford to pay for it.
yeah.
So we paid for this damn thing and we got it, and we had it for a few years. And that little bugger, he'd just go home and he'd go downstairs. So he's no different than any of the kids are today.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't see him. So finally we said, okay, enough is enough. So we took that thing away that day and he never seen it again.
Oh,
So that was, really with Chad, that was about the only thing that ever even pissed me off. Because he done everything else away from me. He was never,
yeah.
I heard all the stories, but that doesn't mean no good. And a couple of vehicles that come home, the one with the car with the bent door that his buddy Scott left open when Chad was backing up, so he kind of got crunched around to the front door.
Skidoos.
And skidoos, he crunched up skidoos, yeah.
Jeez, I was a damn age.
so all in all, you.
That skidoo again, I was more goddamn scared than anything else.
Yeah.
turn the friggin' radio up.
Yeah. I'm the one who got the elbow in the face.
Well, the oldest one always gets the most shit.
Yeah, the oldest one does.
Well, Rick was around us like from the
Didn't
day
wreck
he was
any
born.
cars, skidoos,
So that was kind
did
of
all my
different.
chores.
See, the baby gets away with everything, Rick.
God.
See, the babies get away with everything. We have a brother like that too, hey Terry? Gets away with everything.
Yeah,
He's spoiled.
Yes.
Both those two are spoiled.
Well, you gotta have some good stories about your brothers and sisters. Let's start with Lauren. Do you remember much about him?
I don't. I did know Lauren, but
Yeah.
he was grown up and moved away before I ever.
Yeah,
The only way that I got to know him was he'd come home once in a while at Christmas time or in the summertime, just depending, because he was a baker and he worked up north lots.
To me, he seemed like more like a cousin than a brother.
Well,
I hardly
that's
ever
because
saw him.
Never around
We never ever seen him, and he was never around.
Yeah.
And then he moved away to BC. Well,
at a young age.
at a young age, yeah, and he had nothing. I mean, he had no money, and he had a family to grow up, and yeah, he had nothing.
Yeah.
And it was tough on him, but
But he worked.
I did get to know him. We had a few good times with his crazy cars that he'd come home with. You never knew what.
Oh, he loved it when he got home. Just too bad he didn't get home much.
Yeah. And Dorothy, well, there's a few stories I could tell about her.
Don't spit them out. They're.
Well, I don't know
Her
about
kids
that.
would like to hear these.
Well, I guess the big thing was she was going to school, and I just started school. So so she's taking her little brother to school this day, and so they said, okay, to us grade oneers, because we're in a country school, everybody from grade 1 to grade 8 were in there.
Yeah.
teacher said, well, make a man.
Plasticine.
Plasticine man. It's okay, so I made a man. And then when I took it up to show her, everybody had taken it up to show her, well, I had this pecker made in my hand, and so when I took it up to her, well, I stuck this pecker on it so it wouldn't fall off walking there, so I just stuck this pecker on it. And I handed it to her. Well, my sister, she just about fell off her desk. That little bugger. First, the teacher just went like this right away. She just crunched it. So I guess that's one of the happy moments, I guess, for me. And I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. You make a man, well, you make a man. And that's what I done. So that's one of the stories. And then I guess what I used to do to piss her off was when we'd all jump in the truck, there's Mom and her and me and Dad and truck's crowd. And of course, I'm awake chattering away until half a mile before our place. Then I'd fall asleep. So Dorothy, she was carrying me into the house this one night. I'm wide awake, but that's okay. She didn't know that. She probably did, but anyway, she was carrying me into the house and she stepped on my cat and my cat went, meow! I said, you stepped on my cat. She said, you little bastard, and she just opened her arms and dropped me on the ground. That's the last time I'm ever carrying you in the house, she said. So, that was pretty funny. I didn't have a whole lot, like she was around with her girlfriends and that sort of stuff. And so I always had crushes on her girlfriends, of course, when I was 7 and 8 years old. But,
Ah.
you know. So my sister, I didn't have a whole lot to do with her.
Well, she moved away young too,
She
didn't
moved
she?
away, yeah, into BC and had the family over there and then moved back to Hudson Bay till the day she died. So.
Well, you got to have some good stories about your brother Terry.
Lyle.
Oh, Lyle first.
Lyle.
Sorry.
Yeah, him and I, we kind of had a few stories together. We worked on I didn't know until I went to work on the same ranch as he did. And he's 5 years older than I am, so he already knew all the ropes. I was a rookie, so we done that, and then pretty much every Saturday night we drank a Mickey, going into town, which is about 9 miles from Joe Harbor's place, I guess. So that was just a primer. Straight. Well, I never drank nothing all week except water, and we drank a goddamn barrel of that because it was hot throwing those bales around. So that's what we did. And then we went, we started a record hop thing.
A what?
A record hop.
Record
It's
off.
called a record hop.
Yeah.
Well, this goddamn old record player, like it was only this big. I can imagine what it sounds like today. Then we hooked it up to a couple of speakers, and we had all these records. We would go to Loon Lake, these small towns around here, and Spiritwood. We would go anywhere.
You guys were DJs.
We were DJ. Well, yeah.
Four Corners, you hosted lots there.
Yeah, Four Corners, we've done lots there. In Loon Lake, we've done quite a few out in Loon
Yeah.
Lake. And if we had one in Loon Lake, Four Corners come anyway.
Oh, yeah.
All a few here in Meadow Lake, and that was when you started fights because in Loon Lake wanted to come over and try and take out our women, but our women wouldn't have nothing to do with them. But we'd go out there and take out their women because they liked us. The Loon Lake guys were nerds. So that's what the women said anyway.
Sounds like Hudson Bay Porcupine.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. And no, that was a lot of fun. I had a lot, that's probably where I kind of took up that DJing stuff. I never thought of it really, but that's probably where it comes
That's
from.
where it all. Thanks
Yeah.
to your brother Lyle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And hey, we worked hard and we played hard is what we did. And then he had me along to drive because the bitch couldn't stay on the road.
Oh.
He'd get drunk in the middle of the winter and then we'd be trying to get home and he'd hit the ditch and I'd have to walk to the nearest farmer. Because all he ever had on
Well,
was...
Lyle always said he was an angel, so he's full of shit.
Yeah, he's full of shit. I walked many times while he slept in that damn warm car. And I didn't have a clue sometimes where in the hell I was going, but I just walked to the next set of lights and sometimes that's a long way in the country.
Oh, yes.
And, oh yeah, we've done that a few times.
And you guys lived in Alberta together, didn't you?
Well, yeah,
We're
we
in
did. When I
Edmonton,
first
yeah.
moved to Edmonton, I moved in with him, yeah. And worked there from his, yeah. I had to go all the way across the friggin' city to get to where I was working. And I'd fall asleep every friggin' morning and end up at the end of the bus line.
No.
And I'd do the same thing going home at night. I'd fall asleep, end up at the end of the bus line. And the bus driver, he can't see little me back there because only my head would even show above the seat. So he'd holler, "Barry, are you still on here?" "Oh yeah, okay, well get the hell out, we're here now. It's the last trip unless you want to go all the way around again." So yeah, he done that both, well, of course, there was a different guy at night and a different guy in the morning, but that was kind of funny. And scary for me. I didn't know goddamn city and a country bumpkin going in there. Oh, I was scared to get on a bus. All these people staring at me and all that shit. Yeah.
Now your brother Terry, you gotta have a good one about him.
Well,
Nope.
he's a pretty down to earth guy. Him. He.
Is he?
I
All,
guess,
all the time?
I guess probably what I remember most about that is his coaching days. You had to have a really strong furniture. Because it seemed to have a tendency to move around lots. You know, with this kind of motion, and this kind of motion, and this kind of motion. There was shit flying all over the place. And I guess he probably learned that from one of his coaches, was Ron Dosdall, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he kind of was the same thing, so I guess we can blame that on that.
Wow.
That was early in my career, yes.
Yes, it was. He got pretty worked up.
But then
And now his son is
after
doing
that, I calmed down. But
Pens
With-
and clipboards were
with-
at jeopardy.
yeah, they were. But if they did everything right, there was never anything in jeopardy. Everything went fine.
Everything was good, yeah.
But with Barry, he said one thing. He said is work hard, play hard. That was his theme.
Yep.
Is he worked hard, but he played hard too. And when I was in grade 12, my second semester of grade 12, he got me a job at the mill because they needed employees. They were just starting a second shift. So I started at the mill, and we worked out a deal with Bob Elger, because Bob Elger had semestered out and got a job there at the same time. And so I would just work the nights and Bob would just work the days. But anyways, Alan Brander would be my foreman during some of the, when I was, because they changed every 2 weeks.
Right.
But Barry every other 2 weeks. Well, when it was Barry's shift, on that Friday night, she was party time. And after shift, it didn't matter. We get up 1 o'clock, whatever. It was party time. And we would go, party, play cards, whatever. But this one time, after one of our parties, Barry and I were driving home, and Barry had a '73 Biscayne, and Barry was a little under the weather.
Under the weather is called.
Yeah, little
Oh, yeah.
under the weather.
I got under the weather a few times.
And then when he gets under the weather, he falls asleep. So I said, well, I'll drive home. So I drove home, but right at around Norton Stroman's, this one time, I fell asleep, and I was driving,
Oh,
and I
oh.
hit the ditch on the opposite side of the road. Went right in the ditch. I never slowed down at all. I just kept on going. Barry said, "What the fuck are you doing? Fucking stop this car!" No, I said, "It's so easy, Barry. There was just a bale in the middle of the road. I just had to miss that bale. I went down the ditch here. I'll be back up." You did not kill a fucker. You fell asleep. And he just gave me shit all the way home. And the next day we went back and we're going to town, and Barry says, "Where's that fucking bale?"
Yeah.
I said, "I don't know, somebody must have picked it up, Barry."
Oh yeah,
But it was lots of partying with Barry. Even when I was a kid, he was talking about the record player. He'd have, at midnight, he'd come home, be a whole bunch of people. He was a social butterfly.
Yeah.
Everybody had come to Mom and Dad's, and Barry would invite him over, party at Mom and Dad's. And Mom and Dad would get up every time, party all night with these young guys, play music. I was in charge of the record player,
No, yeah.
so I would be playing all the songs all night and stuff. And Mom would always cook lunch for everybody, make lunch for everybody at the end of the night. And one of them was dill pickles and cheese, or
Dill pickle and peanut butter sandwich.
She'd
Oh,
make dill
yeah.
pickle and peanut butter sandwiches.
Well, that was good for sobering up. Like sour stomach, that was good for that.
And which one of your friends got sick, and that was Johnny Morgenstern? He said it was It was those damn peanut butter pickle sandwiches.
Yeah, it was.
Nothing about the 40 or rye or whatever, eh?
He was just hammered, but he blamed it on this.
That was either
sandwich.
Larry or Johnny, I'm not sure which one, but I remember that now, yeah. That was them fucking cucumber peanut butter sandwiches. There's no pickle peanut butter is what it was. Yeah, it was. Those parties were awesome, and we had them lots. Well, Mom and Dad said, hey, we'd sooner have you home than on the road.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So in
why.
the morning, every goddamn vehicle that everybody drove was still parked in the yard.
And every one of our kids seemed to have that thing. They
Oh,
could
and I
all
was the
party
only
at
one
our
that brought
house.
Parties home, and they all did, I think,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I know Lyle did, because we had cousins that were his age, and there's a lot of them played instruments. They played an instrument, they brought it along.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, hold down is what we did. It was fun. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, being a teenager in the 50s was quite the thing, wasn't it?
Well, I wasn't quite a teenager.
Was right.
I guess, well, I was
In the 60s.
in 1960s.
60s, I mean, 60s, yeah.
I'll tell you, we lived great 60s, 70s, 80s. It was the best goddamn years there's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything was good. Actually, the world was good. Everything was great.
Yep.
And the ones that are grandmas now, they look great because they wore mini skirts and all that sort of shit, high-heeled shoes. And
Well, that's why it was so great.
well, it was.
Well, they got to go through the mini skirts and hot
They
pants.
did, yeah. And
And
they
they
were
had
hot.
to
They
do it.
were
It had
hot
to do with
chicks
the way the
too.
world was going. It was
Yeah.
all about the mini skirts.
And there's actually a thing in Facebook about you guys today think that you're sharp.
Yeah.
This is what our grandmothers used to look like when they were standing up against the car, all dressed up with the short shorts or a mini skirt or whatever. Long hair, always long, just did all the good stuff. Yeah, they were pretty neat looking girls in their day.
But they would dress to the nines.
Oh,
Anytime
always.
public, to the nines. Go
Yeah.
to town, dress to the
And
nines.
if you went to a dance, holy man, like it was unbelievable the way people dressed. It was a night to get all dressed up and go dancing and maybe meet a new girl or take your girlfriend with you, whatever the hell you wanted to do.
But the guys used to dress up too.
Oh,
They
yeah,
used to really
everybody did.
Oh
fancy.
yeah. They had the slick hair back, suit
Yeah.
jackets.
Bell bottom
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah.
Chris, I remember those white pair of bell. I loved them. They had 3 strips on, I forget it, blue, red, blue, and whatever, white probably. On the pockets, I remember, and long. Well, they made my legs look long because I don't hardly have any.
That's right.
Anyway,
for
those
sure.
bell bottom pants, and they were nice and light. They were just perfect. I wish I had them today just to show you. But oh yeah, that's how we dressed up: bell bottom pants and your hair slicked back with real cream. And the windows on your car was just always fucking greasier than hell. Especially if you got in on a good neck concession.
Yeah.
Steam up the windows a little bit and melt the brill cream, that sort of stuff. Oh yeah.
The fun days.
Yeah, well, we didn't have much for vehicles. You had to drive what the hell you drove. Most of the time it got you there, sometimes it didn't.
That's how come you learned mechanics, I
It
gather.
was. You pull up to the service station and the car you had, you burn so much oil, you just go over to the used can barrel with a quart of oil, dip out a quart, and put in 3 or 4. You drive it till it runs out and go get some more. It never cost me nothing for oil because I worked in the service station all the time, so. And it helped a little bit because it thickened it up. There was some grease and stuff in there and lumps and all that sort of shit. They smoked really good, those old cars, aren't they? Nowadays, not so much. Now they're all fancy.
No, Edna.
Oh, Edna. Do you have a story on Edna?
You know something, Edna, I didn't know that much. I really didn't. I was gone, I was working all the time. She was a haywire girl.
Well, she was compared to you.
She
That's
was very similar.
yes.
I guess you might say so. She was crazy, yeah.
Haywire, Mom wanted to hit her with a bat.
Oh yeah, yes she
But it
did.
was wore out.
Unfortunately, she wore it out, so it couldn't-
Terry, why would that bat be wore out with Barry?
I don't think Barry ever got the damn bat. He was the youngest in the family, like Jim. In the first family, he was the youngest one.
Well, I was young. I remember him getting chased with that bat.
Oh no, I used to get that bat lots.
Oh.
I just never got hit with it because I was telling him about this. I said that old bat, Mom would swing it like this, but of course it had bend here because it had been hit and bumped so many times that it just went back like this when it was coming down, and then it just. So yeah, that was Mom's favorite thing. And you little bastard, I'll get you when you come out of there.
But for sure, Mom was a disciplinarian in the family.
Oh yeah.
Dad never said or
No.
did anything.
I don't think he ever.
You better sit down. We just got 3 kids to go through. You sit down and help us with some
Got my
stories.
boots on.
It's okay.
Oh,
Sit
no,
back
no.
down.
Jimmy, Darwin. Oh, what the hell did you say? Everything is kind of haywire around him.
Yeah.
He loved to play. He loved his wrestling.
Oh, jeez.
Darwin and Jim, they fucking wrestled. So 1, 2, 3, you're done. Throwing each other.
So Mansell and Bella.
And Mom's sitting there. I was, you crazy bastard! You're gonna wreck the whole house, you guys. And they're 1, 2, 3, done. And Sweet Daddy Siki and
Yeah,
Holy
they-
Stomper and all those guys.
Darwin would be announcing everything.
Yeah.
He'd be just about knocked out and he's still announcing. And he's
Still
commentating.
Oh yeah,
I just, yeah, but
never quit.
what Barry said is right. Anybody had come over, Jim and Darwin would start performing
Oh,
their
yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was pure entertainment,
And
just
Mom,
like Stampede Wrestling.
Mom, she had just said back. She didn't always say, "Oh shit, not again." Here goes my house again. But yeah, these two, they were crazy and they wrestled hard.
And remember on the coffee table or back, you'd play for hours, set up 2 goals,
Yeah,
and play hockey.
Take his hockey man.
yeah, he announced everything.
I thought I'd be a sports announcer when I grew up.
Yes,
We
well,
thought so too.
you should have been. And you know, we had the big hockey games that we played every time, all the time. Well, we had a cousin that was the same way as him. Kenny Ketcher's his name, and he used to announce every game. And he was damn good at it. And then Darwin would come along, and he announced he had these players that, well, it was usually Toronto Maple Leaf from Montreal anyway. And he knew all the players, and he's announcing his game, and we're sitting there, we're playing away, and he's announcing it just as if it was on radio. Yeah, it sounded good. I remember Kenny Ketch, he was good at it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some good
Had to
times
learn
with
from
that.
Somebody, eh?
Well, and maybe that's where he got it from. I don't know, but
No, he didn't know Kenny Ketchum.
Not really, no.
no,
Just
probably
really
not.
natural.
He just picked it up on his own.
Yeah.
I remember Mom yelling up to the register, "Put that goddamn pillow over the register! You're driving me crazy!"
But he'd play for hours doing
Yeah, well, especially with that little make-believe game, kind of here with
Yeah.
those 2 little hockey
Yeah.
guys,
Just entertain.
just all by himself, and he was announcing like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, little Jim, you got many a story with that.
Holy shit, I'm out of here.
Well, I can tell you a lot of stories about Jim.
Yeah, jeez.
Come on, Terry, get back
And
here.
a lot of, yeah, Terry, I mean, need to help with this one because neither one of us were actually around him all that much when he done this crazy stuff. But, well, he started working for me, not far out of school. He done a little bit of work in a body shop and stuff before that, but then he come working with me. And then he got a couple other jobs. He went to work for housing, Metal Lake Housing and stuff like that, and on maintenance and stuff. And then he kind of got into his funny grass and a few other things. And he wrecked a couple of cars too. I wasn't the only one. And we never did know where the hell Jim was, whether he was. We just didn't know where he was, what he was doing most of the time. And then he kind of worked for me for like quite a few years.
So he was a damn good worker, though.
Oh yeah, he was a good worker, yeah.
Except for his taste in music was a little off.
He drove us home from Dorntosh Bar a few times. And he was like 14 or 15 maybe at the most. But that was Jim. He was another crazy kid. He was. He was just about as goofy as me and Edna. And,
Yeah, he was haywire.
yeah.
Okay, see you.
Okay,
Okay,
Terry.
Terry. So yeah, that's about it for the family.
So all in all, you're surrounded by a pretty good bunch.
Oh hell yeah. I wouldn't trade him for nothing. Yeah. And we've still got at this time we have 2 that have passed away, our 2 oldest ones. Lauren and Dorothy. And then now we've still got the rest of the family, so that's pretty damn good.
What's this picture you got? Let's see that
Well, this
picture.
thing here,
And what's that all about?
well, this is Legion. This is what I used to look like.
Oh, that's a handsome bugger.
Yeah, until my hair all fell out.
What's that crest about?
That's golfing. Legion Golf, district golf winner.
Champion!
Yeah. So that got us, Chad and I actually went to Humboldt for the provincials that year.
Oh, cool.
And So that was it, yep. That's what I looked like.
Well, this was good. Your great grandkids will love to hear this story.
And I spent 30 years, I just got a 30-year pin. I should have brought that up. When I come back from my hospital stay, the Legion come over with about 50 members. Where the hell is it? And anyway, they gave me a 30-year pin, which I really appreciate.
And a lifetime membership.
And a lifetime membership.
Cool.
So that's all good.
Well, they
That's
were
just part of it,
they
and,
respected all your charity work, volunteer work.
I've done lots of that, Jeff.
Yeah, that seems to be a Dallyn trait.
Well, everybody does it. Everybody, you know, Rick, he's in hockey. He donates his time to there. Diane with seniors and me with whoever. I still belong to the Legion, and Joanne still comes over and gets some information and brings me some information, so that's good. She spent about an hour and a half over here yesterday visiting, and then she sent me over cinnamon buns and homemade buns.
Oh, you're spoiled,
For
spoiled
supper. Well,
bugger.
I asked, and Christ's sake, I'm walking in, these cinnamon buns are just like, well, they were brand new because they're just hot. They're still hot. You burn your finger when you stuck your finger in there.
Text about fish is delivered just like that.
Say that, Queenie.
Creed,
Hey, he's
all he did was
spoiled
got on the text, and 5 minutes later, some woman's driving up with fresh
shit
fish.
happens as soon
Shit,
as he speaks.
And then Travis, he brought us fish too, so you'll take that home.
Oh, he did bring you fish. So
Brought
good.
down a bag of fish here the day after he was here.
Oh yeah.
Then Ed Barry brings it over all
Brad
the time.
brings fish.
Yeah.
Well, I gave enough away when I was able to fish, so
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. But if you don't
Karma. Karma.
If you
Karma
don't
comes
ask, you're
good
not going to
karma.
receive. So that's what I told Dan. She says, "Yeah, you're just spoiled." When I told her about those cinnamon, well, Dan was here. She brought the damn cinnamon buns in. It was my Marilyn Mannix. She brought them.
Oh, Grace.
Yeah, so that was all
Well,
good.
people wouldn't do it if you didn't.
That's
deserve it.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear your story. Your grandkids will enjoy your stories, and
Yeah, they'll see it.
especially knowing that their parents were bad little buggers at times too.
Oh, we were. Yeah, we were. What you call bad?
Your kids were
You know,
bad
we
little
were
buggers
we
too.
were a good bad because in our days we didn't have a whole lot of shit that we could actually get into.
That's right.
But he still managed to be really bad.
Ah, yeah.
Really bad vehicles. And
Well, you know something, we used to.
I spent lots of time in front of the Empire.
Yes.
Legion.
Well, no, I got to go into the Legion.
Oh yeah.
I was able to go into the Legion, and then the Stampede, and Dorntosh.
Yeah.
I have those good.
I
stories.
sat many hours. The best. Here's my main story was waiting for Barry Dallyn. After volleyball, I went to Empire. He was going to be out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's
2.5 hours later, he comes out. But I saw the best fight of my life. These two squaws come out of there fighting. They were pulling hair and punching and kicking. Their clothes were ripped. That's my first sign of tits. Seeing these big boobs of these squaws out hanging out, they're just going. Everybody's out there. The cops are around, and Barry and them are out watching the fight, and they're on top of my car, and I'm just down, crunching down because. But so I saw lots of action out behind the Empire waiting for my brothers. So.
Yeah.
And I seen it in the front.
And you-
Exact same thing, but two men going at it.
Oh.
Best fight I ever saw.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, Dad would come out, 10 minutes. And then he'd come out a couple hours later, bag of chips or
Yeah.
something. And in he goes again. But I was happy.
Oh my.
He never ever forgot us that we were there. He'd bring
Oh,
me a
yeah.
pop and a bag of chips just
Yeah.
because we had to wait.
I remember one day my dad and I, we got in a fight at the goddamn Empire.
Oh yeah.
We were walking in, all we were going to do is just go have a beer. Father and son, go have a beer. Okay. Well, we opened his door and these two assholes come flying out right in our faces. And Daddy, whoa, what the hell's going on here? These two guys was right on top of the car, our car.
Oh, jeez.
And so Dad, he's gonna break them up. He's a nice guy. And he said, "Get the fuck out of here, old man, or I'll fucking kill you too." So he grabbed this one and his guy turned around, he smoked Dad pretty good in the fucking lip. That pissed Dad off, so You just give him a half Nelson and he just fucking killed him just right there. He had one hand like this and he had the other guy like this and he said, "Now you fucking guys, one's gonna go one way and one's gonna go the other way. Or else he was gonna schmuck the And they're looking up at this old guy and they said, what the fuck is going on here? And it took him like 2 seconds and he had these two guys just immobile. They couldn't do nothing. I'm standing back, that's my dad? Holy shit. So he shook them off and whatever he did. We went inside and had our beer and left. But yeah, that was I remember, never forget that as long as I live.
Well, that's where Chad gets it from.
Well, if there was a fight around here, you could always find one. That's
Didn't mess with Grandpa.
No, Christ, he just had those two young shits just. Because he was strong. He was a very, very strong man.
Oh yeah.
And his goddamn hands were short, but they were thick. Holy Christ.
Oh, they're heavy. One time with Dad, you know how you go to somebody and hit them on both sides of the face? Just, come on, Dad, come on, Dad, come on. He just sat there, you know, just, come on, Dad, come on. Then next thing you know, the old left paw come up, whack in the head, and I fell on my head, and he just chuckled. So,
Oh, yeah. That used to be his favorite thing was that hand swapping thing with Dad there trying, and he had outslap you every.
so
He was fast.
yeah, quick paw come up.
Yeah.
So,
He was pretty good at ball player in his day too. Well, he done shit good just like the rest of us do the same thing. You're not no professional at it, but you can still play.
yeah.
Those picnics and stuff you used to have at the schools and all the parents come and played ball and all that shit. Or even out at our place.
That's right.
Same thing, that big A field played ball if there wasn't anybody that didn't play ball.
Well, thanks for doing this, bro, and thanks for putting up with me for this weekend.
Not a problem, anytime.
Be back golfing
Not at all.
next. Maybe not my next set 6 out, but the set after that.
Yeah.